Welcome, students, parents, faculty, staff, alumni, invited guests, to the Auditorium naming program at the home of the Vikings for our honored guest, Mr. Conrad "Connie" Bachmann. I would like to recognize our distinguished guest here today. First, Congressman John Yarmuth, Mayor Greg Fisher, State Representative Charlie Miller, Superintendent Donna Hargens, and JCPS Board Member Joe Hardesty. I'm not sure if Ms. Linda Duncan is here, but she is welcome. And Councilman Bob Henderson, our local council member. We also have our Alumni Association representative, Mr. James Young, as well as the class officers for our 4 classes. And a special thanks goes out to some of the key central office personnel for all their hard work in this massive construction project at Valley High School. Mike Mulhern, Facilities Transportation Executive Director, John Lee, Director of Facilities Planning, and Susan Biasioli, Project Manager. Welcome all, and thank you for coming. We are here today to both honor Conrad Bachmann and to showcase this spectacular new auditorium for Valley High School and the Southwest community. This auditorium is part of a $26 million federal stimulus grant that the JCPS Board of Education approved for construction and renovation at our school. 2 years ago, the board also approved restructuring of our school to a medical magnet. The investment and restructuring led to our new vision statement, which reads, Valley High School will be an elite school for students pursuing career preparation in the fields of medicine, health, the environment, and liberal studies. Now, the home of the Vikings is a place where future doctors, nurses, medical technicians, and other medical, health, and environmental professionals will receive their early career preparation. The success of our future graduates will reconnect us to the tradition of excellence established by our graduates from decades past. Graduates like our honored guest, Conrad Bachmann. I first met Connie a couple of years ago when I spoke at the Golden Reunion for Valley High School alum. In the room was a living history of the long, proud, and accomplishments of Valley graduates. And in that room, one person stood out above the rest. One person seemed to have the admiration and adoration of those assembled at the Golden Reunion. His name was Conrad Bachmann. The more I learned about Connie, his accomplishments, and his love for this high school, the more I thought to myself that here is a man whose story should be known to current and future Valley students. Here is a man to include in the Valley Hall of Fame that will soon be created at our school. I want the kids to know the names and the stories of those who walked these halls, studied in these classrooms, and later achieved great success. I want our kids to aspire to do the same so that one day their story too can be known and celebrated in the home of the Vikings. So Connie, here we are. This is now and forever the Conrad Bachmann Auditorium. You earned it through your accomplishments and your continued love and involvement in the school community. Your name is now part of the school. Your success will inspire others. Your story will be told and remembered for generations to come. Congratulations. At this time, JCPS Superintendent Dr. Donna Hargens will share some remarks. Today is actually her 4th visit to Valley High School. And all you need to know about her can be summed up in 2 of her visits. On one visit, she came without an entourage to the Valley PRP football game, where she spoke and mingled with the crowds on both sides. She also made time in her busy schedule to accept an invitation to the Valley High School annual dance for mild and severe special needs students throughout the district. Not only did she come, but she danced with the kids, and she was quite a hit. When have you seen a superintendent do these types of wonderful things? And if you're wondering who held her purse while she worked the dance floor, that would be me. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Hargens.
Good afternoon. What an exciting day for the Valley High School community and for Jefferson County Public Schools. Thanks to all of our special guests who are here today to celebrate Valley and one of its outstanding Viking alum, 1951 graduate Conrad Bachmann. Isn't this a beautiful auditorium? Our schools shape our lives in so many ways, and with this new facility, we've literally put your school in the spotlight, as well as Southwest Jefferson County, a community with a rich legacy of traditions like those here at Valley High. The auditorium is part of a construction and renovation project that includes a new arena and other building upgrades. This state-of-the-art facility seats 600 people. It has windows for daylighting with blackout shades. The lights can be lowered for easy maintenance and adjustments, and the auditorium contains a rear-mounted projector and screen. These are just some of the modern technologies that have been incorporated into this facility that has the potential to benefit students from every school in this area. I'd like to extend a special thanks to the architects and to recognize Mike Mulhern and all of his facility staffs that have been a part of this project. It was a team effort. I thank them for all of their hard work and commitment to excellence. We are looking forward to completing the entire project this fall. The Valley renovation is being funded through interest-free bonds supported by the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. Thank you, Congressman Yarmuth, for your role in securing these funds. We also want to thank all of our local leaders who helped make this dream a reality for Southwest Jefferson County. This public expression of our admiration and respect for such an accomplished and loyal alumnus like Mr. Bachmann is very fitting. He has been a role model for our students, not only in terms of his professional success, but also through his generous involvement in public education and his support of students in our community. Some of you may not know that Mr. Bachmann is an active supporter of arts programs in Louisville, and he was an instrumental force in working with our district arts and magnet program staff to develop the communications career-themed programs at 3 of our high schools. By naming this cutting-edge performing arts facility in your honor, we celebrate your unwavering commitment to Valley High School, to the Jefferson County Public School System, and to your hometown of Louisville, Kentucky. Thank you, Mr. Bachmann, for your legacy and for your continued involvement in our schools. Today is a proud day for Valley High School and for JCPS. And with me this afternoon is one of our board members, the board member for Valley High School, Mr. Joe Hardesty.
Thank you, Dr. Hargens. It's a pleasure to be here to welcome you on behalf of the Board of Education. I want to thank Congressman Yarmuth and Mayor Fisher for coming out today. This is a great facility, wonderful facility. I want to echo everyone's thanks to Mike Mulhern, John Lee, and all of your staff and the construction crew that put this together. This is a great facility for not only Valley High School, but for the entire Southwest Jefferson County. And once the gymnasium is finished, it's going to be a facility that we can all share in this part of the county. Not only this part of the county, but throughout all of the county can use it for different events. Mr. Bachmann, I want to congratulate you on the naming of this facility. It is an honor to be able to do that on your behalf. I think Mr. Bachmann exemplifies the tradition of excellence that Valley High School represents in this community. And for those of you who have lived here a long time, and I suspect we have many graduates here in the front rows here today, you understand the tradition of excellence at Valley High School, and there's a great source of pride in this part of the community for this school that has been here since 1930. And I would want to take this opportunity to highlight some of the achievements in just the last 3 years that this school has made. There's been a lot of progress in the school, and it's something I want to recognize while we have the opportunity here today. In the last 3 years, the school's enrollment has increased by 150%. Just in the last 3 years, the school's dropout rate has decreased by increased by 150 students. The dropout rate's decreased by 50%. The 11th grade ACT scores have increased by a full point. And for each of the last 2 years, over 90% of the Valley High School students have received college acceptance letters, and they've earned over $1 million in scholarships. And one of the statistics that we were talking about recently at one of our meetings is, you know, we try to get all of our students to go to college. Unfortunately, some of them don't stay in college beyond the first year, but Valley has a higher than average retention rate of not only getting students into college, but maintaining a high retention rate in college. And so I think this demonstrates the tradition of excellence that Valley High School has come to know over the years, and it's one that's continuing. So again, congratulations, Mr. Bachmann, and we all look forward to using this wonderful facility. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hardesty, and I know you're not running for your position next year, but we will miss you. I thank you for your time here at Valley High School. During our last recession, the billions of federal dollars were sent to support education in schools across the nation. We were able to celebrate the new construction here at Valley High School because of representatives in the nation's capital, like Congressman John Yarmuth. His strong advocacy and commitment to education are well known. He understands that investments in schools and our kids is an investment in the nation's future. At this time, I would ask Congressman Yarmuth to share a few words.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be here this afternoon. I think everybody's already taken all of my ideas or thoughts. A year ago, I was on campus, and some of you probably remember that day. We filled up a time capsule, and I trust it's still buried safe and sound, and I'm not here to open it up, but I do want to talk a little bit about what I put in there that day. It was a copy of the 2009 American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, a copy of the legislation. And 3 years ago, a lot of people wondered whether government should be spending money to help repair classrooms and build new facilities, invest in infrastructure and new technology. And if you go by the political environment these days and the rhetoric that's out there, there's still a lot of question about that, and a lot of people want to bury the people who voted for that act, not just the act itself in a time capsule. But I think we've seen far enough into the future now, as we look around us today, to see how some of it's turned out. And I do want to talk a little bit about what that act has meant for the entire community, not just for Valley High School in Southwest Jefferson County, which has benefited and will benefit to an extraordinary degree from this investment. We built a new maintenance, energy efficient facility at TARC, a new fire station in Beachmont. We've used incentives from the Recovery Act to create more than 800 new jobs at GE's Appliance Park, put thousands of kids in summer jobs programs. We've rebuilt critical portions of our streets and sidewalks in more than 2,300 locations. We've put literally thousands of Louisvillians back on the job. And incidentally, we lowered taxes for 95% of American families, but not many people realize that. But most importantly, we have recommitted to our public schools in Louisville and throughout the Commonwealth, investing $1.2 billion in projects like this one here at Valley. And I think that's a pretty good record for 3 years. When I was here a year ago, we announced more than $24 million in Recovery Act investments for renovation and new construction at the school. We are updating the essentials, heating and air conditioning systems, windows, security, upgraded classrooms, improved the science labs, and built lifelike hospital rooms, as Principal Hurt has already mentioned. And so we are turning this into one of the truly admirable and impressive magnet programs for careers in the healthcare industry. So with the gym, with the auditorium, with all of the latest technology we've added here at Valley, I think we can say that these are federal dollars well spent, because they will benefit this community for years and years and years to come, and class after class after class, and thousands of young people will benefit. So I'm thrilled to have played a small part in the total makeover of Valley High School, and I want to thank Principal Hurt, Superintendent Hargens, Joe Hardesty, and certainly Conrad Bachmann for his continuing dedication to this community, this Commonwealth, and to his alma mater. We couldn't be prouder of what you've done for all of this community. Thanks so much. And of course to Mayor Fisher, who has recommitted this community to its emphasis on education and the development of every child in our community. So with that, I will say I had a joke written in here for me, expecting a lot of students here about being out of school on Friday. It looks like you've extended that tradition maybe to Tuesday, I don't know. But anyway, congratulations to the entire Valley High School community. It's a great day for Valley and for the community. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Mayor Greg Fisher. He too is a strong advocate and partner for our public schools. In fact, he will return to this very auditorium in just a few weeks to address our seniors in a celebration of our college readiness program that we named Close the Deal. Through JCPS High School restructuring and college and career emphasis, we will help Mayor Fisher achieve his Possibilities City goal of 55,000 degrees by the year 2020. Please welcome our mayor.
Well, thank you, Principal Hurt, and I look forward to being here in a couple of weeks for the Close the Deal celebration. You all should try to attend one of those. They're super exciting. You see, we start at the beginning of the year with seniors and talk about them, the importance of them going to college, and they're kind of unsure at the beginning of the year, and then we come back at the end with the encouragement that they receive from their counselors, their teachers, their principals throughout Jefferson County Public Schools is amazing. And we see now here at Valley that over 90% of the kids will be accepted to go on to some type of post-secondary education. And to see them turn from kind of tentative early year seniors to confident folks at the end that are ready for this next chapter in your life says everybody can do this. Because one of the things that I see a lot is these are first-time kids that are going off to college, first time in their family. So they're the model for their brothers, their sisters, their neighbors, sometimes for their parents as well. And then we have a lot of international kids in Jefferson County Public Schools. Now I think we're speaking over 70 languages at JCPS now. And so to encourage the international kids, because right now it's tough for them, a lot of them when they come over here as refugees, but when they make it through our educational pipeline, they're the type of workforce that we need for tomorrow in this global world that we're in. So come and participate in this great adventure that you see when the kids turn from kind of gangly teenagers into, I'd say, semi-confident adults when they're going out. And some of them lose their swagger a little bit when they're going into the new world of college, but it's something that they all need our support. And when we set our goal for the community of 55,000 degrees, that's 55,000 more college degrees by the year 2020 for Louisville. When we do that, we will be in the top tier of American cities in terms of adults with college education. And then all the data shows us that that leads to more innovation, leads to more opportunity, and it leads to more jobs. So when we encourage kids to pursue an education beyond the high school level, we're just basically telling them the truth on what's required to succeed in today's world. You can't, in very few circumstances, can you make enough money to live with just a high school degree now. And you all know that, and that's why we have such a high percentage of kids going on. Could be a four-year university, could be a two-year. JCTC is growing very rapidly. Could be a career in the military. Our military offers tremendous opportunities for our citizens here. Or some type of technical school or specialty certificate. So please, for those high school seniors that you know, please make sure they're on one of those paths, because everybody's got some kind of passion that they can turn into a job. And I always say, why not have joy in what you're doing? You're going to be spending a lot of time learning and working in your life, so let's make it something that we appreciate and have joy in. And they need encouragement from adults like us. So this project's about education. This project is also about Southwest Louisville. We will have invested, as our speakers have said, almost $24 million in the Valley campus by the time we're done here and with the auditorium. That's a great evidence of President Obama's stimulus package working here in this community. Created a lot of jobs, a lot of good jobs in a time when we needed them, specifically in the construction industry, which has been really hard hit by the recession. When you close your eyes and think about the performances in here, it's going to be fantastic. When you think about the gym, the LIT will be held out here. So the thousands of people that will be coming out there and the businesses that they'll be frequenting along Dixie Highway is the type of economic development that we have in mind for Southwest Jefferson County every day. And then third thing that's going on here today, why not take this as an opportunity to throw a little love at one of our Louisvillians, Conrad Bachmann, who is a distinguished graduate from here. Did you feel distinguished when you were graduating from here, Conrad?
I was glad to get out.
But he's always kept his hometown in mind. You know, 2 weeks ago, as a city, we celebrated the Give a Day week of volunteer service. And, you know, my emphases for the community have been lifelong learning, healthy community, and even more compassionate community. And we show that compassion through volunteership. We set a goal of 55,000 volunteers or acts of compassion for the community. And I said, when we do that, we will say we have set a world record for compassion in a city. Somebody asked me what the previous world record was. We said we had no idea, but when you're mayor, you can proclaim things and people believe it. So if anybody wants to challenge us from around the world, we accept that challenge as well. The good news is we've had almost 90,000 people during the Give a Day week, either volunteer or some type of act of compassion. And I think that says so much for the community that we have here. We know we have great people here with compassion and hospitality, so an event like Give a Day brought that out. And Conrad, even though he has not been living here full-time in quite some time, has not forgotten his roots in terms of volunteership and compassion, your work with Easter Seals of Louisville, and then what I call social entrepreneurship, when he stepped up to help found the Louisville International Festival of Film, says a lot about you, what you feel for your hometown here, and we really appreciate that. So on that note, I'm a mayor, so I'm going to proclaim something, all right? May 1st, 2012, come on up here, Conrad. Conrad Bachmann Auditorium, grand opening day, on with the show.
I'm going to need a truck to get them home.
That's all right. Get a home here.
Thank you, Mayor. Through the leadership and pride of several of our past graduates, the Valley Alumni Association is growing, providing scholarships and support to our students. I would like to invite James Young to share a few remarks on behalf of the Valley High School Alumni Association.
Wow, what an honor it is for me to be here on the stage with so many distinguished individuals and elected officials throughout the county. And welcome to Southwest Jefferson County, an area that needed this, needed the money, and needed something to really rally behind. And, you know, I was sitting in the office of a legislator in Frankfort once when they said that a thriving Valley High School means a thriving Southwest Jefferson County. And I think this is the first step in this building today to getting to that. So I'm very excited about that. And on behalf of the Valley Alumni Association, which is growing, which is exciting, I'm the current active secretary. I do want to congratulate a member of our Alumni Association today, Mr. Conrad Bachmann.
At this time, Senior Class President Kayana Fernandez will make a presentation to Mr. Bachmann on behalf of the Valley High School student body.
Mr. Bachmann, on behalf of the students of Valley High School, I would like to present you with this small token to commemorate this special day and congratulate you on this great honor.
Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to hear from our honored guest, Mr. Conrad Bachmann. I want you all to know that this is not his first time on this stage. I gave Connie a sneak preview of the auditorium a few months ago. Work in the auditorium was still ongoing at the time, but the stage was complete. With acting still burning in his blood, Connie jumped on the stage and recited a beautiful soliloquy. Colonel Hamilton and I served as witnesses as he proclaimed to be the first actor ever to perform on this stage. Connie, I know you will never forget this day, and we will never forget you. And all I have left to say, Connie, is come on up. The stage is yours.
Well, 400 commercials, 35 films, and 4 series, and I'm a nervous wreck today. First of all, I want to thank everyone that's here and this distinguished panel up here, and I'm going to go down the list here with Donna, with the superintendent, Joseph and John and Greg, and we keep bumping into each other all the time, Greg, you know. James Young and the Valley officers and the kids up here, and my family and my friends and my high school friends out there. I'm looking out there and I'm looking at these familiar faces. And one that really stands out there, she's going to kill me, that's Barbara Wilson sitting down there, because Barbara and I were cheerleaders together. And we really led the team on, and we really got all over Don Gregory's back down, sitting down there, because he was the hot quarterback here at Valley that won all those games for us, okay? I do want to thank Carol Hamilton, who has worked so hard, and Don down there, and helping Gary. Thank you, Gary, for bringing all this together. And I really am. I'm really pinching myself because I'm so honored. This is such an honor for me. Everything I'm doing for the love of my hometown, for the love of the schools, and I'm just trying to give back because my life has been so fortunate. Everyone says that I should write a book, and I have started writing a book, and it's called It Just Happened to Me. And that's really what happened. I mean, you know, I didn't really choose acting. I started out as a dancer, and one thing led to the next, and I ended up as an actor, and just went from one job to the next job, and I'm probably the most popular actor in Hollywood that nobody knows. You know, I can walk into the drugstore and nobody bothers me, and I can go anywhere I want to go and nobody bothers me. But I've enjoyed it. I call myself a utility actor, and years ago I worked with Bing Crosby, and I said, what kind of advice could you give me? And he said, never go for the lead. And I said, really? Why not? And he said, because when the picture falls flat, the lead looks for work and you go to the next job. It was the best advice I ever got. Giving back, my partner Brian Cullinan is sitting down there. He and I started out together with Easter Seals and with Foster Brooks, and I was doing a series with Mike Connors called The FBI, And Foster would come on all the time as a guest star, and he kept saying, Conrad, you got to come back to Louisville, do my Foster Brooks golf tournament. I said, well, Foster, I don't play golf. And every time I'd see him, he'd get on my case. And then one day, a friend of mine called me up, and he said, you're a tennis player, aren't you? And I said, yeah. He said, well, you know, I'm going back to Louisville, Kentucky to play in some golf tournament. He was a golfer. He said, they're looking for tennis players. You ever been to Louisville? It just happened to me, you know? I said, that's my hometown. So back I came, and we've been here ever since. It's just been progression, one thing after another, with the various charities. And then I had done a film called Something from the Heart. Now I forgot the film, but anyway, I had been traveling with a producer doing Q&A at various film festivals, and he called me up one day and he said, have you ever been to Kentucky? And I said, why? He said, well, we've been invited to some little film festival back in Kentucky. It's up in a place called Goshen, Kentucky. He said, and we've really never been there, and we've always wanted to see Kentucky, so we thought we'd go. You want to go with us? I said, that's my hometown. When do we leave? Well, that started the Louisville Film Arts Charity Institute, which we benefit the Jefferson County high schools. We're trying to help these kids get into the business and also teach them how to run a business. And then, of course, Louisville's International Festival of Fame, because my goal and our goal is to make Louisville a destination city for films. We want to be Tribeca. We want to be Sundance. We want to be those big film festivals, and we will be. We're in our 4th year this year, and we're pretty excited about it. But anyway, I'm getting wound up here. Coming in on the plane, I was watching a movie called Marilyn, and I hadn't seen it yet. It's a great film if you all haven't seen it. And as I was watching this movie, I started reflecting on the time that I had with her when I worked with her, and some of the other happy moments that, of working with other actors. And I thought about, well, this kid from Kentucky, you know, was so fortunate that I had dinner with Robert Taylor. Now, none of these names you may not remember. I know my schoolmates will. But, you know, and I used to hang out with Marlon Brando on Sunset. And I starred in a film with Rod Steiger and Jack Palance. I doubled and got sage advice from Bing Crosby. I listened to old Hollywood stories from people like Van Heflin when I was working with him, and Lee Marvin. Rock Hudson was one of my best friends, Joan Blondell. And I found myself one day sitting at 20th Century Fox as a young kid who'd just gone out there at the studio, and I'm sitting in a dressing room with Charles Boyer and Gig Young and David Niven. And I'm sitting there thinking, nobody back home would ever believe that I'm sitting in this chair with these actors who I saw on the screens for years. And then I talked about, I've been beaten up, I've been shot, I've been eaten by a giant worm, I've been held hostage, I've put people in the gas chamber. I even was gassed once during a bank robbery. I've saved lives, I've commanded armies, I've flown fighter jets, I've commanded a Navy destroyer, I've been a newspaper reporter, I've been a doctor, a principal, an astronaut, an air traffic controller, I've owned bank chains, and I've been CEO of major companies. One of the neat things about being an actor is that you can be anybody you want to be, and it's really neat because I didn't think I'd ever be a CEO of a major company, but I am, okay? And one day I was running back from lunch, and I was on 20th Century Fox lot, and the stages there are double stages with a common door, and then you go into the various stage door. And I was running late, and I was running like crazy, and I opened up the door and bolted in, and as I opened up the door, somebody else was coming out, and wham, slammed right into him. I stopped and looked up, and there was Jimmy Stewart. This is a kid from Kentucky, okay, running into Jimmy Stewart. I mean, who would ever think about that? So I consider myself to be the luckiest person in the world. There's no question that God has guided my life. He's handed me the dream of my life, and that's being an actor. I just completed a career day at Beverly Hills High School, and a lot of the kids asked me, he said, what is it like to be an actor? And I told them that I could be anyone I wanted to be without worrying about getting a grade or getting fired, which was true, unless you don't know your lines, and then you're not going to be back. But obviously there were struggles in my whole life. It wasn't always easy. I had to prove myself, And sometimes when I thought it was all going along great, then it would get jerked away from me and I'd have to start all over again. So my career has had its ups and downs, but always with more understanding of where I was headed or what I was doing or what I was trying to do. And there are so many people in my life along the way that, you know, I could thank, and there's a list of them. And, but one of the things that I can thank more than anything else is being from Kentucky. I love Kentucky. This is a wonderful state, wonderful commonwealth. I've been privileged to be appointed to the Film Commission, so I'm working on bringing films back here. I have a film, my last dream or my last bucket is to produce a film. I just got the finished script day before yesterday, and I'm starting to work on bringing that film back here, and we'll be shooting that film in Shelbyville. They don't know that yet, but that's where we're going. Let's see. Oh, I told that story. I got ahead of myself. I told that one too. Should have followed my script. But anyway, you know, one of the things that I was fortunate about was doing commercials, which I did a lot of commercials. I don't know how many people remember us Tarrington smokers would fight and switch. Anybody remember that commercial with the black eye? Now, look, I'm not that old. Thank you. There's one. But anyway, what I want to say is my heart has never left Kentucky. And even in the beautiful state of California, where I have to admit there are a lot of things to do and a lot of places to visit, I still say to this day that things run through my head, all the fun I had in the woods of Kentucky. I grew up over on Bear Camp Road in Valley Station. There's a quick little story. The first time I came back here, brought my wife back, and so we were down at the Galt House, which, by the way, houses our film festival. They've been incredible for us. We were down at the Galt House, and I said, well, let's take that little trolley car. We'll ride around town. So we got on the trolley car. We're riding around town. The driver in the car says, y'all staying here at the Galt House? Yeah. Where are you from? Well, we're from Los Angeles. Oh, Los Angeles. You visited here? I said, no, actually, I said, this is my hometown. This is my original hometown. Oh, yeah, where'd you go to high school? Everybody wants to know where you go to high school. I said, well, I'm from Valley Station. I'm at Valley High School. She said, oh, you're a redneck. And I said, well, that's what it means, and I'm a proud one. Anyway, I'm the most fortunate person that I know to have all these opportunities and have friends like all of you. But the stories, the stars, and friends that I've been with are microscopic when it comes to Kentucky. And I may live in Los Angeles, but I'm a Kentuckian, and above all, I'm a Viking. Thank you.
The Valley's Women's Club President, Carol Hamilton, and her husband, Don, have a special presentation for you, Connie.
Before we start, I'd like to thank my wife, Kate, who has been supporting me all my life and keeping me straight. Always.
Last year when Conrad came to speak to the Women's Club, and many times I've heard him mention that there was one thing missing from his senior year in high school. And so Donna and I have spent basically 9 months looking for that item. Wow. And you know, it's hard to find books that have been out of print 61 years. So, but we did find someone who was willing to give you their 1951
oh my God.
Viking yearbook.
Holy.
I'll have to share the whole story with him later. We don't have time for all this.
That's fantastic. Thank you. And look at all these signatures. Well, there we are, Barb. Thank you, Carol.
The name and everything's in here.
Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you. Well, that's I'm really taken back with this. How exciting. Yeah, I didn't get a book my senior year. Well, I'm speechless. I don't know who gave this up, but it's a Manhattan on me. Or Geritol, I don't know which one.
Would the class officers come up at this time? Connie, I know we're still working on some of the final touches. We have landscaping to do. Your name does not yet appear outside, but it will. We do have a depiction in the lobby of what that will look like. But the students thought that at this ceremony, you ought to see your name somewhere on this stage. And at this time, students unveil the banner.
Might as well do a dance step on. Okay, now where am I?
You can have a seat.
Oh.
This is just temporary. As we close the program, I want to thank Lauren Roberts, and thanks to Jenny Curran, an aspiring administrator, for the time and tremendous work she put in planning, coordinating, and organizing today's event. And thank you also to Commander Mark Peters and our NJROTC cadets. Thanks to Band Director Greg Hyman, chorus teacher Aaron Newman, and all the talented students in our music program. Ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to join us for a reception in the lobby area where members of our school orchestra, led by Sarah Speck, will play as we enjoy refreshments provided by the Valley's Women's Club. The Valley Vikings Band will play the school fight song as we conclude the program and make our way to the lobby for refreshments. Thank you all for coming, and go Vikings!